Hi reading friends! I wanted to make a video to catch you up on our mini lessons from last week and then let you know what our mini lesson is for this week. So each week in reading we're going to work on a different skill, and both of these skills are just review from what you already know how to do as a reader. So we are just working on getting better at doing each of these things. So our skill from last week was story elements, and story elements consists of 3 different things. The first thing is characters. Every story has characters. And remember, the characters can either be people or sometimes they might be animals. A lot of times we read books where dogs are the main character. So last week we worked on saying who the main characters were and then saying a little bit about them, like using words to describe them, character traits like helpful or kind or mean or polite, those types of words to describe our characters. Another story element is setting. And remember, setting is the time and place that the story is happening. So every story has to have a setting. There will be some time words that tell you when it's happening, and then some where words to tell you the places that it's occurring. And remember, our chapter books that we read are going to have lots of settings. They don't stay in the same place or at the same time for the whole book. They're going to be traveling around to different places, and it's going to happen on different days or maybe even different months. So those 2 things are story elements. And then the third thing is plot. And remember, plot has a lot of things that go along with it. But the important things to remember about plot is it's all of the important events that happen throughout the story. So when I ask you to retell a story, you just want to retell me the important parts. You don't want to list all of the little small details because then you would just retell the entire story. You just want to tell me the main important things that happened. And plot always includes the problem and the solution. Every story has a problem and a solution, so you have to be sure to tell me those things as well. So those are the 3 things we worked on last week, just remembering what each of those things are. And then this week, we are working on theme. So if you remember, theme is the lesson that you can learn from the story. So lots of fictional stories have lessons that we can learn. The important thing to know is that the story is not going to come out and just tell you, the lesson we want you to learn is... You are going to have to figure out what the theme would be. And to do that, sometimes we have to consider the actions, words, thoughts, and feelings of the characters. We have to think about, what did the characters do? Should they have done that or should they not have done that? And that can teach me some type of lesson. Okay, that's a lesson in the story. There's can be more than one theme in a book. So you might find several different lessons that could go for the same story. We came up with a list of some common themes that we have seen in books before, such as treat others the way you want to be treated, don't judge a book by its cover, or don't judge people before you get to know them. You can't just take and not give. So if you're borrowing things from people, you need to let them borrow, or you have to let it go both ways. Don't be cocky and be humble. Don't brag all the time. Give other people some credit. Be a team player. Try your best all the time and don't give up. A friend that bullies is not a friend at all. So be a good friend. If someone's not being a good friend, they're not really your friend. Don't be greedy. Greedy people just want. We don't want to be greedy. And slow and steady wins the race. Just because you were the very first person done with your math paper doesn't mean that you got the highest score. It's better to take your time and do your best than to just rush through something. So these are some themes. There are lots more. We just tried to think of some that are pretty common that we see in a lot of different stories. So theme is what we're working on this week in reading.